Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the Sons of the American Revolution hosted a memorial service honoring a soldier who came to Kentucky in the 1790s. And one of the Commonwealth's most famous cemeteries is drawing in visitors from around the nation.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, 4:59. Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson here with your headlines, with your news, with your weather. We got it all covered for you this morning. It is Monday, October 23rd, and we appreciate you joining us. Let's get the weather first this morning. We have some patchy fog and some cool temperatures out there. We'll talk about some active alerts that we have here in just a little bit, but you see the fog pretty thick and dense. That may have saved us from some of the frost. We did have a frost advisory for a lot of the areas overnight there, but you see close to zero visibility in many areas this morning. Anything less than 5 on that map is pretty thick fog, and you can see it in the valley there at Buffalo Mountain. We are fogged in here in Hazard outside the WYMT studios once that camera shows up there in just a second. A little patchy fog at Jenkins, over toward Pikeville, and over toward Moorhead just a little bit too. London Corbin not looking too bad out there this morning. We'll give that camera, there it is. There's that dense fog outside the studios here in Hazard. But I can tell you the temperatures on the cooler side, we are in the 30s in many areas. One of the cooler spots in the region, 32 in Clintwood, 34 in Irvin, so it got a little colder than forecast in some areas. 43 still at Jackson, 42 in Pikeville, 41 Moorhead, 41 Middlesboro, 43 Harlan, and 46 Monticello. That's basically the only 40s out there this morning. Everybody else is in the 30s. Out the door forecast, again, patchy fog, patchy frost, and then after that, we're going to soar into the upper 60s with a mix of sun and clouds. I think more sun than clouds as we head into the afternoon hours. All right, new this morning, we have some breaking news overnight from Louisa. It was a standoff situation that basically happened off Kentucky 2033 and Highway 645. State troopers went to conduct a health and welfare check around 8:30 when all this went down. They say they were fired upon by 71-year-old William Hickman. After those shots were fired, the police set up a perimeter around the home. Eventually, a special response team was called out to try to calm the situation down, but they ended up having to use some tear gas to coerce Hickman out of the home. The standoff ended around 4:30 this morning, so just a few minutes ago. Officials have not released the charges yet, and we do not know where he was taken to jail. This is a developing story, and we will continue to update you as we get more information. In other news, we have an update for you regarding a golden alert for an Estill County man. The Kentucky State Police were searching for 69-year-old Eugene French Jr. this weekend. He had been missing since Friday evening. Police say just before 4:30 Saturday afternoon, a family member found French unresponsive on an ATV path where he was last seen on Bicknell Branch Road. He was pronounced dead by the Estill County Coroner's Office. Officials say no foul play is suspected, but the incident continues to be under investigation. In Harlan County, the coroner's office there is also investigating a death. Around 8:30 Saturday night, a man's body was found at a motel on Skidmore Drive in Harlan. The Harlan County coroner pronounced the man dead at the scene. His name was not being released at this time as officials wait for all of his family to be notified. We do know, though, he was 48 years old. We are told that foul play, again, is not suspected in that case either, but that's also an ongoing investigation. Switching gears, the Sons of the American Revolution Big Sandy chapter continue to find ways to honor those who served during the American Revolution. Saturday morning, they took time to honor a patriot with special ties to our region. WYMT's Jack Demler has more from the Middle Creek Battlefield in Floyd County.
A salute to honor a man who served and revolutionized the country and has a special tie to the Big Sandy region.
This is a beautiful fall day to have this service for my fourth great-grandfather, John Fitzpatrick, who came to Kentucky in 1798 and established his farm, and to see the outpouring of support from different family members, and especially for it to be held here at the Middle Creek National Battlefield.
The Sons of the American Revolution hosted a memorial service honoring Lieutenant John Fitzpatrick, a service that came about from members of his ancestry.
Our president, Ed Keaton, asked if there's anybody got any suggestions, and I thought, well, I live in Prestonsburg, and I know a little of the history, so that's how we got it.
And a way to honor the legacy of those who have served.
To me, if we don't honor the people who fought for us, who defended for us, we're doing them a great disservice.
Through education,
we have a chance to educate people, and that's the best way to keep their memory alive, to keep our ancestors' memory alive.
Of the region's history.
Local history is an extremely important component of who we are, where we came from, and hopefully will establish a precedent of where we're going.
In Prestonsburg, Jack Demler, WYMT Mountain News.
And the president of the Big Sandy chapter said while honoring those who served is a major undertaking, they enjoy doing it and that the community appreciates it. Meanwhile, the mental health of our nation's current veterans was the focus of an event near Louisville this weekend. The second annual Veteran Suicide Prevention Concert took place in Germantown on Saturday. 12 different bands and artists took the stage, many of which are veterans themselves. All of them performed in an effort to show that all service members are supported every moment of every day.
But we're here to support, sometimes silently, but this is definitely, we're bringing a lot of the community together, that being artists and bands, just to show that people out there really do support.
All proceeds from the concert are going to the Dogs Helping Heroes, a group that works to provide service animals to veterans in need. Switching gears again, it is known as one of the most haunted cemeteries in Kentucky. The Grapevine Cemetery near Madisonville is drawing attention from paranormal investigators from across the United States. Visitors of the cemetery report hearing crying sounds and seeing statues move late at night. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, some people swear by their belief in the paranormal. Brandon Ellis is the founder of Proof After Paranormal. He says there could be some big differences in the hauntings he's encountered.
There's several different levels of hauntings, and it'll start from residual on up. Intelligent spirits, they can communicate with you by responding to your answers directly. Residual, they don't know you exist. They're kind of just doing their own thing in their spiritual world.
Ellis says paranormal investigators like him look at the big picture, including the history and not just the haunted aspects of the places they investigate. Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, we'll take a look at a school with sustainability as its mission and how students are training to care for the planet. And it is a chilly morning across our region, but it will give way to a fairly nice afternoon. I have the latest forecast in about 3 minutes.